Howdy folks, this is Scott in B0W. Today I am going to make a video that I have been putting off. I've had several people ask me to see more close up my whole system and how I do my recording and all that. I've been reluctant to do that video because I'm expect to get comments from, well, you don't need all that stuff and you bring away too much and whatever. I know that's going to come, but it is what it is. That's the nature of the internet. So this is for the people who want to see it. If you don't care about my setup, my video setup, my audio setup and all that, then this probably isn't the video for you. After I get done with this, I'm going to do an activation, but I thought I'd go ahead and put this video together for those who want it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do the whole setup here. Going to start from scratch, and the first thing I'm going to do is put up the antenna. And today we've got low wind. It's a beautiful day out here. It's supposed to be 85 for a high. It's probably getting close to mid 70s now, I think. But I will work on putting my loop up. That's my plan for today, is to get the loop on since we don't have a tremendous amount of wind. And so I'll start with that. So, well, welcome along to the ride and we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to start with unpacking my antenna stuff here. And I have pretty much done nothing as far as prep work for this. So you'll get a raw video. This bag has my poles in it. This piece here is the base of my loop, which if you haven't seen my loop video, you can look back and find that. You might find that interesting if you want to see how the loop was built. So we're going to start with one of these. This yellow pole is part of a tree saw for reaching up high into trees and cutting off limbs. So we'll mount this onto here first. Just U-bolts that mount on, screw on here. And I got that on crooked. There we go. Top clamp is tight. Bottom clamp is tight. All right. Now I need my loop supports. They are right here. Take the bottom caps off of here. Set those right there. Take the top caps off. They just pop on. And here's my loop poles. stay there. And about, oh, sorry about that. The camera lost me, I think. Let me readjust that. Okay. Sorry about that. The camera lost track of where I was. All right, so I've got 25 foot of pole here. And these fit right over these pipes like so. There's one. And here is the other one. And this one goes over that rod like that. All right, now I need my wire. Well, I need this part here, so I can go ahead and put it on now. This is the bracket that holds my pole up in the air. Making sure I'm not under the power lines, which I'm not. They're significantly out of the way. There's just an L bracket mounted to the roof rack here. And those just bolt right on there. Like so. There's that support. Now, where did I leave? I think it's in this bag right here. Yep, there it is. So my wire is wound on this here kite winder. One side clips here. One side clips here. And I will be off camera for a little bit as I just roll this out. There we go. There's the wires all rolled out. Get untangled. And the camera's actually inside the loop, but that's okay. We'll just run that over there. Okay. And there's the winder left. All right. I'm gonna back you guys up a little bit. There we go. now you can probably see a little better, except I'm going to be very small. These are my corner pieces. Here's a corner. I got it pre-marked with a little nylon washer. I don't think something's right here. That looks better. Had one too many sections out. Okay. So that's hooked. I come down here to the middle. Loop that around. And snap that section on to keep that all tight. Okay. Here's the other corner. It's catching on these rocks out here. So this goes in this corner. This corner snaps in that carabiner there. And this goes through here and snaps in that circle there. There we go. There's the loop. So I need a piece of coax, I believe. And a choke. I'm putting the choke on first. Screwing the choke into the 4-to-1 LDG ballon. Strap that Velcro on there. Attach the wires to the ballon. And the antenna is set up. Now we just need some more poles. These just screw together. Like so. So that's 3. I think we'll go 2 more in the bottom piece that has the rubber end on it. because there are no trees out here. There we go. Straighten my coax out so it can follow us up without getting tangled. And I think the antenna is ready to go up. Open my clay up a little bigger because I know I had a smaller. There's a rooster pheasant cackling out there. Okay. I just put the end of the pole against the tire here and walk it up. Try to get it fairly straight here. Tighten the clamp down. Try to get it somewhat straight with the world. And I'll go look and see how that looks. Looks pretty good north and south. It's leaning pretty far to the east. So we'll bring this over here like this. Give that a look. And that looks pretty good. It used to be straightened a little bit that way for east and west as far as the okay. That should be pretty solid. And there's my coax. All right, so I'll come grab you guys, bring you back a little closer. The antenna takes some room. Let me flip this around. And there it is. The loop is up. This does attract attention, that's for sure. Oops, accidentally stopped the recording. This is not a very professional video, folks. So there's the loop. All right. Now for the rest of the stuff. Turn this back around. And I think we're good to go. I'm going to start with the Walmart lifetime table. Not fancy, but it works. very affordable. I think we'll go about there. Grab my pad. This is a yoga mat, about a 1/4 inch thick. It's rubber on the back side and cork on the front. It just makes a nice surface. Not that this table really needs it that much, but like if you're on a picnic table or something, it's often very welcomed. Okay, so my table is ready. Now then, I call these my cubes. I've got all my equipment in here. And these two, like I said, I call them the cubes. And I'll show you these a little closer. Once we get everything set up here. Let me grab the laptop support. Laptop sits in here. Okay. And I need a battery. The battery will just sit here on the ground. Take off my protective clamps. Bring out my chair crates, which I'll show you those. Kind of kick some rocks out of the way here. So these have a flat place to sit. And that's mostly cables and extra stuff in here. This bag holds my power cables. So these just clamp onto the battery with these clamps. How'd you guys get tangled up like that? There's one. And two. That one needs to be tightened up a little bit more. Okay. I've got these marked. This one says inverter. So I think I lost Lost my face tracking. So the inverter plugs into here. It turned on. And the laptop plugs in there. This one says radio. So that plugs into my Tintec Eagle. And then the USB hub plugs into there. And the noise reducer goes there. This powers the headphone amp. It plugs in down here to the battery. It has some USB outlets. And the power is hooked up. And we need a coax. Goes into the tuner. This antenna doesn't need a tuner, but the power output of the Eagle is not very accurate, so I mainly use it for power. Okay. This will plug into this side. This is the paddle camera. It's all USB, so this plugs into there. And this will be the park camera. It will go over here. And I think everything else at this point is extra. I need... Oh, that's going to be easier to reach from the back. Okay, so here's my... This board just sits on the crates. And this here stadium seat just sits there. I've tried regular camp chairs, but what I didn't like about camp chairs was the arms hit the table and I can't scoot up close to the table. And so with this, with no arms, I can get right up under the table and be more comfortable. So, okay. This camera will go here. This is the USB. Left side 2. That goes into there. And this will be left 1 for the radio camera. So there. Oh, one more thing. I got to set up my other camera, the park cam. Sorry I keep going off camera. I'm just trying to take as little time as possible to do this. Like I said, this is not a professional video. But I kind of wanted to give you a sense in real time of how long this takes. I keep my camera and my 9A 5N paddles in there in that little case. Now this just barely fits in here. Well, that's not cool. Huh. I got all the parts though. I'm surprised I found that spring. Oh, nope. That's not my part. That is a 22 shell. All right, I think I will have to look for that later. Maybe I don't even need that part. It's been kind of a hassle. I'll go ahead and raise this up all the way. And I'll set this right over here. And this USB plugs right into there. Like so. Let's go around the leg a few times here so I don't catch it and rip that off of the camera. Alright, let's level it up. It looks pretty good that way. And I think it looks pretty good that way too with the horizon. Okay, there's the park camera. I'll show you that when I get the rest of everything set up. So that's the bulk of the setup. A few more cables to put in here. The USB cable, I'll plug my phone in just to make sure it has plenty of power. I shouldn't need this one. And this is the keyer. So it runs around behind over here. And my keyer is right here. There's the paddle there. The radio connection is there. And that just leaves that connection for that camera right there. So let's plug this one in here, down here too. Huh. Had it upside down, imagine that. Having a USB cable upside down. Okay. I think that's it. We should be about ready for the final setup. And I will finish hooking up the details and then we'll be right back. Okay, the computer's pretty much set up now and all the equipment. I thought I'd start with my seat. And this is no big deal. It's just 2 crates with a stadium seat sitting on it. It's the right height, has no arms, it works pretty well. The first time I used this crate kind of gave away and was bending, so I put a couple strips of plywood on the inside for strength, which helped that. And then I built this little plywood base that sits on there, and that gives me a seat. Got a car coming by here. Okay, now in my cubes, I'll start over here at the left. The camera I'm on right now is the one that sits here in front of the radio like this. But I need it right now to film this, so I'll put a picture of what this camera looks like here. It's an Osmo Pocket 3. I had the Pocket 2 and I really like it. I use it for my other channel for kite flying videos. And the Pocket 3 is even better. So starting here is this webcam here is pointed at the keyer, electronic keyer. This is a little Anchor webcam. This is one I already had to use for Zoom on my desktop down in the shack. Of course, the Kenwood Eagle. I'm going to have to adjust my polarizer here. It's blocking the screen. The Kenwood Eagle. This tuner is new. This MFJ mobile tuner, 945D. I got that off eBay. I just like moving needles. I like to see the needles bounce. I had that little tuner that I'd gotten from AliExpress, and it worked fine, but I like to see the needles move. Like I said, the Eagle has a tuner in it, which works fine. And I really don't need a tuner on this antenna, but the power meter in the Eagle is off, like 10, 15, 20 watts in the middle. So I mainly use this as a watt meter. But this will be the first time I've actually used this in the field. This is a Zygu, the GNR1 digital noise reducer and filter. I bought that on a whim to see if that would help my G90. And as far as noise reduction, it does not work well for CW. It thinks CW is noise and really messes with CW. I don't know what it's like on voice. I've never tried it on voice, but on CW, the noise reducer does not sound very good when it's engaged. But what I do use it for is the filter. It has skirts on each side that you can turn in and down, so you can bring the highs down and the lows down and narrow that up. And that works pretty well. I've got some hiss coming in the audio line from the radio, I assume. I'm not sure where. I don't hear it in the headphones, but yet through the recording it comes through. And this, I can dial that hiss out of there, basically as an EQ with the highs and the lows. So it works pretty well for that. This is a external sound card. This is the one that what is plugged into that? Oh, my headphone amp is plugged into that. So the audio comes from the radio. It goes through the GNR1 into this external USB sound card, which feeds down to this headphone amp splitter. And what this does is it takes the audio and it splits it up into 4 outputs. So I've got one to feed a speaker. So if I have someone watching who wants to hear, I've got this USB speaker I can plug in so that they can hear what's going on, because I usually use headphones. This one I set up for a portable recorder, so I can record the audio. If I'm not using the full video setup, I can just record the audio there. This one goes out to the laptop sound card, which is an external sound card, which is hanging right up here. I got to get that plugged in yet. And this one goes out for headphones. The reason I'm doing that is so I have a volume control for each one of those things. If I need more headphone volume, I can turn that up or down here without affecting what's going into the recording, or vice versa. I can adjust the recording level without affecting the headphone level or anything else. So that works pretty well for that. This is a USB hub, because I don't have enough USB ports for everything. So I have the cat control for the radio is in there. The audio from the radio goes in there. And what else? There's something else in there too. I don't remember now. Anyway, so that's what this hub is. Just to get me more USB ports. And then over on this block, I've got my mouse for my laptop. Laptop set up, ready to go. Got my keyer, my paddles. This is a USB, another Anchor webcam, which is set so you see the paddles. And then this is a 1000 watt inverter, which is feeding the laptop power supply. And the rest is just storage and stuff that's just along for the ride in case I need it. So that's pretty much the setup. I'm not going to show you details on the laptop software. I'm running OBS, Open Broadcasting Software. It works great. There's hundreds of YouTube videos on OBS, so there's really not much really not any reason for me to reinvent the wheel on that. If you go to YouTube and search for OBS, you can have, like I said, hundreds of tutorials on how to use OBS. And then I've got N3 FJP running for the logging. And that's how it all works. I've got different scenes created here in OBS. This is my main logging screen. This little blank spot right here is missing the camera, but that's the camera I have in my hand. This camera will also act as a webcam. So that's what will go there as soon as I get that plugged back in, ready for service. And then, let's see, I don't have two things. I've got a lapel mic that plugs into here, which I'm on my camera mic right now, but lapel mic comes in here, connects to my shirt for the audio so I can talk to the recording. And then I don't have my headphones plugged in, my little over-the-ear headphones, which I like because they're little clip-ons, because I can use those with a hat. As far as the camera that's on me, that's the internal webcam that's in the laptop. Little camera right there, so that's where that's picking up me. So I think that's about it. Again, I know this is overkill. It's not necessary for Parks on the Air, but I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy working with tech stuff, trying to make things work, and to me, this is part of the fun. And I know some people really like my videos. Some people really hate my videos. That's fine. For the ones that like it, that's why I do it. One more thing I did find some foam that just fits down in these shelves. Nice squishy foam. So when I'm driving with these electronics, they're not quite so, bouncy. I think it might be a little safer on especially the radio. Be bouncing along to have a soft cushion underneath it. I think that's it. This little case up here is what I carry my keyer in. This keyer's, I was warned when I got this that these arms are really sensitive to pressure, and you should not have them riding, sitting on the arm or something. So So I've got that case with pick-apart foam picked out so that the arms are not even being touched. Everything's being held in place by the base. And that's all I can think of for now. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll do what I can to answer them. And glad to answer questions if I can. I don't know everything. I've had fun getting all this to work, getting all this put together. That's how it is today. It might be different next time. I kind of make up these decisions as I go. So with that, that's my setup, how I make the videos. I'm ready to do an activation now, so I'm going to end this one and I'll start over with a new video of the activation. We'll go from there. So I hope that helps. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know and I'll do what I can. So thanks for watching. This is Scott in B0W.